Roast $4.49 a pound. Ground fresh 80%.
It's Jay-Z hanging out here. How you doing, Paladin?
Hey, we gotta
asparagus $2.19 a pound.
We gotta kill that spot that was running. And
kill the noise, right?
Come right back to it there. All right, yeah. So it's not like I've been live recently or something like that. But hey, we got Messer in studio.
What
that makes up for all of it.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you guys here. This is something I've been looking forward to for so long. Boy, have I missed Dallas.
Man, it's been a while.
It has been
a
so
long time.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did that fundraiser for me for the police officer back in 2006, 2009.
Yeah, we were trying to think about where was that? Was that out like in
Fort Worth?
Fort Worth.
Yeah.
It was that place, maybe.
Yeah, it was
Legends.
Rock Dogs or something.
Dogs,
was it Rock Dogs? While Rock Dogs was still in business.
We passed that place and we're like, I think that's the place.
That
Literally.
a week or two ago.
Was it?
Yeah,
Was
on
it
the
just
way.
that? Well, that was forever ago. Well, I think we raised between the Fort Worth and Dallas concerts. I think we raised like $1,500 for that guy. So
yeah, that's great.
That was a great. Well, anyway, I need to introduce you guys to the audience so they know who we are. We're talking to Messer, national act Messer, as heard on 94 Rocks. They have 3 top 30 singles on national radio: Simple Man, Make This Life, Save Myself. And these people need to get used to knowing whose voice goes to who. So introduce yourselves to these fine folks.
My name's John. I play guitar.
I'm Derek on vocals.
And I'm holding down the low end over here as Maddox.
Maddox, I'm so glad to see you, man, with your fluff on the scruff down there.
The scruff and fluffing.
Anyway, man, okay, so obviously these guys are from Dallas. They started out in 2009. Your new drummer, when did Kenny join you? Because he wasn't your original drummer, was he?
He is. He's always been the original.
He always has been, okay.
He's been with us forever.
Okay, all right, yeah. I ran into him
Our Canadian drummer.
Yeah,
Canadian.
ironically, our person who's most acclimated to this cold weather is left back home in Dallas. But we miss you, Kenny, if you're listening. You know.
Yeah.
We miss you.
Whereabouts in Canada? Do you remember?
He's from
Ottawa?
Ottawa. What was the city?
I think it was like Ottawa, though, right? Wasn't it Ottawa?
Yeah, it was in Ottawa,
Fort
for sure.
Erie? You know, he's lived all over the country. His dad works for the I think the Canadian government up there. So growing up, he traveled all over the world, which is how he kind of ironically ended up in Dallas. You know, so.
So I got to ask then, does he speak then French?
He speaks
does.
some of it. Yeah, he's helped us get out unstuck up in Canada before.
We blew an engine in Canada many years ago out on tour with Zach Wilde and Black Label Society and Pop Evil, and we broke down in the middle of nowhere, Quebec, Canada.
Quebec City, I think.
Quebec City, yeah, and had to get towed, and the only place that could help us, only spoke French, and So
and it was like Friday at 5 o'clock, so everything was
saved
closing.
us, we got home.
Yeah.
And then he helped make that happen.
He did.
Well, he's got the language. He's got all kinds of ability to talk, especially with females. He's an amazingly talented guy.
Earmuffs out there.
I actually ran into him. I was telling you guys this story. I ran into him in the 24-hour airport back when he was with Strangleweed. This was years and years and years ago, the 24-hour airport in Dallas, when he was mailing out packages. And this was, I don't even know if he would remember that story. It was completely random. And then, all these years later, it's like deja vu.
He's still sending out packages.
He's still sending out packages for you guys. Oh, man.
Yeah,
well,
serendipity has been a big part of our whole entire process, so it doesn't surprise me that we had that moment. So
yeah, I do feel like there's a little divine intervention always happening. There's somebody looking out over the whole thing. Well, speaking of that, you guys have had an incredible blessing on your career, and you're about to launch another venture here. You're about to get into some new territory. You've got something planned. What is this new thing you're doing?
The new thing that we are doing is our new single, right? Hope in This World, which is a song. It's about, bridging the gap that seems to have been growing further and further every day during this pandemic. And, the core message of this song is really just about helping people find hope despite the negativity. And, with everything that's out there, it's easy to get, trapped in this box of disbelief or this box of confusion. But this song really, we hope, will become a lifeline for people to cling to for change.
And you're about to drop that on the radio in the next, what, week or so or something?
I believe it's going to be hitting the radio airwaves around February 8th, but it's you can pre-save it now. And, of course, we brought you guys a very, very exclusive advanced copy, so you guys are going to actually be playing it before the rest of the world's going to hear that.
An advanced preview.
An advanced promo copy.
You're dropping it on national radio on my birthday, but we get the
Nice.
advanced preview. This is
Absolutely.
special.
We're gonna
Everybody
actually-
else can pre-save it now. Everywhere
Yeah,
you
please
pre-save stuff.
do that.
Of course, listen to it here on 94 Rocks, but most definitely, keep an eye out because it's coming.
Yeah,
All
we're gonna
right.
give them a chance to play an acoustic here in a few minutes, but then starting tomorrow, we'll actually have the full
Boom.
version
Nice.
played here.
Make
so-
sure you tune in tomorrow.
Absolutely.
It'll
And
be
every
very,
day.
very exciting. Yeah, we'll throw that into rotation. I know a guy that can make that happen.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. His name is Jay-Z. I've seen him around somewhere, but I never see him during.
Jay-Z? You know Jay-Z?
I've never seen him during daylight. It just never happens. It's just completely crazy.
Well, it's weird for me to be in here at this time, and here's the exciting thing for you guys, because this is the first time we've ever done an interview in the afternoon on Paladin show.
Really?
With the new rock format since
Right
we switched
on.
over back in April of 2021, obviously during the pandemic. And
Hop in the chair.
Exactly. So for
Pop
him,
daddies.
we do all the interviews normally at night during the dark, which is at 7 at night until 4 in the morning. But today we figured we'd bring you in live into the studio, because later on you're going to be live over at the Silver Bullet Bar and Grill in Genola playing an acoustic set over there for our listeners. And this is a good time for us to invite everybody over there.
For
Make sure they
free.
get over there. It's a free show. Hang out with the guys. These guys, we've had a chance to hang out with them about, a half an hour or so, and these guys are great.
Yeah,
They
come
look
see
like
us.
they're
We'd love to
gonna be
meet you guys.
Absolutely.
Come
So-
hang.
John
and,
is single.
Just like MTV Unplugged back
Single
in the
and
good
ready
days.
to mingle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TBD.
Absolutely. Hey, let me ask you guys. During the pandemic, obviously, everybody had things going on. Lives have changed and that. What was it like for Messer, I guess, during the pandemic time?
Very confusing, leading into very depressing, but then it became very hopeful.
It did. I mean, Derek, he launched a knife business.
I was hoping you were gonna get
Messer
into
means
that.
knife in German, and it's something that we have been talking about for a long time. So you should be making knives. It's like it's the name. And he did, and so you can actually check his knives out at Two-Headed Dog Knives, and have a knife made by Derek Messer.
Yeah, Two-Headed Dog Knife Works is the name of the company. TwoHeadedDogKnives.com. Go check out our knives. We make custom knives.
Damascus
Yeah,
steel.
Damascus blades, all kinds of high carbon blades. Me and a buddy from junior high school and his wife, and we just brought on his twin brother too. So it's really cool to make knives in general, but to make them with friends like that, it's a blessing.
It's pretty awesome.
Man, you got me salivating. I'm over here. I'm crazy. He'll tell you.
Yeah, the story on that is one day when he came into the studio, or not, I guess into the office, all of a sudden he brought in this big box, and I was like, okay, what is this?
This is just one story of many, but this,
3-4 days later, I went, Paladin, what's in the box? And Paladin goes, that's
They-
my machete.
Well,
I'm
duh,
like,
my
what are we doing with
machete.
machete in the radio station.
well, there was one day that I brought in this big yellow, huge, like 3-4 foot long box, and I put it in the corner, and I left it here at the store. And they politely came up and asked me, "Is that a sword?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm storing it here because the martial arts school they're moving, and I had to put it somewhere." So they
it's a safe
asked.
spot for it.
I thought it was a perfectly safe. I hadn't even opened the package yet, so a perfectly safe place to keep it.
You need a few knives around the place.
They felt uncomfortable. I don't understand it.
That's why we lock the doors now.
And that's why we're doing the interviews in the middle of the day.
Absolutely.
Well, we were bipolar until April of last year. We had two different formats going on. The daytime was a top 40, and the nighttime he got to do the cool music. But he finally put enough pressure on the powers that be that we finally got to go 24-hour rock, and I finally get to let my
Man, we miss
hair
that.
down.
We need lots more of places like that.
Let's
you know
talk
what I
about
mean?
that, because I know I've talked to some guys, the guys from Anything But Human, Sons on Fire, guys like that, and I know they're in the Dallas area, and Bill's from that, and he said a lot of the clubs and that in the rock industry are kind of dying, going down, radio stations, stuff like that. What is the, I guess, what's the music scene down in the Dallas, Texas area? It used to be, I know it used to be pretty hot. Is it kind of?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we've gone through phases where it's been just absolutely on fire, and we still got a lot of good bands.
There are. I mean, the rock scene has obviously kind of been, dwindling through the years. It's known more for hip hop and pop and a lot of other genres that you wouldn't think. But as far as the venues in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, they have just kind of almost all gone to cover and tribute bands, and so Dallas has become like, the mecca and hotspot for some of the greatest tribute acts that are in the country right now are all originating from Dallas. So that's been kind of cool to keep that kind of nostalgia vibe going. But a lot of the smaller clubs that hosted local acts, a lot of them didn't survive the pandemic because of the shutdowns from some of our governments there. So it's kind of sad, and it's kind of been echoed across the country with a lot of other smaller venues that I've found out that are no longer in existence either. So it's gotten more difficult for sure.
Well, guys, I want to make sure we get that new song out there before we run out of time. So the song is called "Hope in This World." We're trying to bridge some gaps. We're trying to provide some hope, and you brought in these beautiful guitars, and I want to get to that story about your tuning of the guitars.
Maddox,
yeah,
it's your world.
Yeah, let's. We'll do that after the song, though. I want to get to that song first. Make sure to drop some amazing music on these folks. Meanwhile, my talented compatriot's going to adjust some volume. Go ahead and knock them off their feet.
You guys ready? All right. Well, we like to reinvent our songs acoustic, so this is our version of the hard rock song that you're going to hear later, acoustic. Here we go.
So far away that I can't see the other side. The space between us growing dark, clouded in our eyes. Can we reach each other far away from in between? Can we make it out before it ends in tragedy? And I've got to let this go. Help me find hope in this world. How can we face this alone? We focus on the problem's judgment, drowning in our fear. A war of attrition, desperation. There's no solution here. This quicksand is pulling us down. What have we become? And why can't we rise above? This quicksand is pulling us down. What have we become? And why can't we rise above? Help me find hope in this world. How can we face this alone? Help me find hope in this world. How can we face this alone? We'll find our way out. We'll find find our way out, and I won't let us drown in silence. No one wins here. We must rise above. Help me find hope in this world. How can we face this alone? Help me find hope in this world. How can we face this alone? We'll find our way out. We'll find our way out. We'll find our way.
Amazing, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's amazing. So now there was some amazing stuff you told me about the tuning on all this stuff that I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that are guitar aficionados that are going to be fascinated with this whole tuning thing that you guys were telling me.
Yeah, go study our album. Listen to the album and hear it. If you're a guitar player, it'll definitely inspire you.
Yeah, I mean, when we were creating, the sound of the band Messer, really, I mean, obviously, like most bands, we started out in the garage doing a whole garage thing, but at some point we decided we needed to, take it to another level. And with the help of my our best friend, brother, and producer and co-writer Chad Gennison, we sound design, kind of what we thought would be a new modern rock sound, and we utilized a lot of sacred tunings and open chord tunings and things, really to. We were legitimately trying to weaponize our sound to evoke emotion, create the goosebumps, get the watery eyes, the whole vibe. So we have songs that are like in standard A432 for those who are into nerdy sacred. Geometry type stuff, but so if you listen to our album, like Derek said, every song on that album is probably in a completely different tuning. So if you want to try to cover a Messer song, good luck.
And it's very and sonically too. It will pull on those heartstrings, through our parts and emotions.
We were using, a lot of sacred tunings just for that sole purpose of really trying to, evoke emotion.
And you have some ability to hit a button and change tuning from song to song.
We're not supposed to talk about it.
We're not supposed to talk.
Oh, okay.
No,
Never mind.
No, on our
Sorry.
live show, we are, there's some really great, I'm super nerdy about this stuff, so there's some great modern technology out there, and we teamed up with a company to help us develop a guitar that will allow us to have all those guitar tunings loaded up in there, and then, digitally it can, change the tuning of the guitar on the fly. So, it makes it easy for us.
Instead of traveling with 10 guitars,
Yeah, exactly.
take it all down to one.
And
Never mind the guy behind the curtain here. Okay.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
doing this all as an independent band, right? You're doing this all yourselves.
Yeah.
With the help of people like you
Yeah.
and our fans.
Yeah, and
Wow.
then our day jobs. I'm in the studio all day long. That's what I do for a living. Is I help other bands, build productions, live productions. John and I do show automation, light show stuff. We can get really nerdy with this stuff. So if there's any bands out there looking to take their show to the next level, that's what we do in our, when we're not out here doing this. So.
What guys inspired you to become artists?
Well, Derek.
For me, my dad was a singer.
Yeah.
So for me, that was always the one I looked up to first. I lost him when I was young, probably around 12 years old. So that always inspired me. But having older siblings that were listening to music, beyond my years, really pushed me into wanting to do this since I can always remember.
Yeah, my father was kind of the same for me. Although he wasn't a musician, he was a tremendous music fan and lover, and exposed me to all kinds of great music at a really young age. And he just passed away this year. You know, he's right here with me. I
Our
carry him with
biggest
me.
fan.
He's been on this whole tour.
Wow.
He was one of our really biggest fans, honestly, and a big supporter. You know, I mean, it's tough to do what we do, especially, you know, and you get to be an adult. A lot of times, you want to get these trappings of adulthood, you know, mortgages, car payments, and those kinds of things. And for us to do this, we had to sacrifice a lot of that stuff, you know. So it was great for our families to be so supportive and help push us to live this dream, because that's what, you know, we're grateful that we get to do it every single day.
So you're probably living on that big old brand new bus you've got now. Then.
Yeah.
I should be living on that bus.
What did you name that
We do
big
a
old
lot.
brand new bus? You had to get a brand new bus, right?
Yeah, we did. You know, it was time for us to kind of, you know, for a lot of reasons. From one, economics of, you know, just being on the road, not having to do hotels, but having to take more crew to help us bring social media content to everybody. Kind of like the content we post on the Messer app that you can download at the Google or Apple store, by the way. But we now named it. You were going to ask me what it was, and I didn't want to just make a name. It had
We
to
had
come
some
to
good
me.
ones beforehand.
did.
We had some good ones we'd come up with.
We did, but it had to come to me, you know, and it finally did come to me on the road. You know, when you're driving a vehicle and you have that bond and the connection, you know what I mean? Eventually, it'll come to you, and it did. So we named her Gracie.
Gracie. Gracie replaced Betty.
Gracie replaced
Betty
Betty.
White. Yeah, Betty White was.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace, Betty.
she went as long as Betty White did. Yeah. Just about.
All right. Well, guys, give us your web presence, your social media. Give us all that quickly so I can pay the light bill before I have to go.
Messerband.com. But like Maddox said, go download our app. It's in your app store. If you're on Google or if you're on Apple, go to the app store, download the Messer app. It's a bright yellow emblem. We call it the emblem. Emblem.
And pre-save our new single, Hope in This World, and listen to it tomorrow here.
Absolutely.
94 Rocks.
Absolutely.
And I also want to ask touring and stuff. What's the plans? I guess obviously you're doing a radio tour right now this week, but for fans and that, what's the next step for you guys to get out there?
You know, we're hoping that you guys have us back on your big birthday bash or whatever 4th of July bash that you guys have, because we would love to come play here, a radio station sponsored show. But we're going to be doing some shows up in Sturgis. We got some shows kind of sporadically. Like I said, there's not like a lot of like tour stops along the way, and
A lot of one-offs.
So
Big one-offs.
you know, we're playing some like steel horse bike rallies, like I said, Sturgis, some you know, Edge Fest. So we're going to be out, but it's not going to be like before, you know.
Gotcha.
It'll be different.
And you're out tonight.
We're
Silver
here.
Bullet Bar and
Silver
Grill,
Bullet, baby.
Genoa,
Yes.
for free. Acoustic, unplugged, one night only. Messer, catch 'em, and you'll catch us too. I'll be there. Paladin right there hanging with you, be able to shake your hand, press the flesh, get to meet all of you, which I'm looking forward to. Lincoln Park coming up in just a little bit, and I will be available tomorrow at 2 o'clock right here at 94 Rocks, full maximum loudness.